If a woman feels safe at a sporting facility and it's a clean place where she can, of course, use their facilities that are able to ensure that they're able to be comfortable, by and large, that's how you increase the numbers.
All right, guys, I'm hanging out with Benard Ndong. Hey, your name is a tongue twister, Ben. For us, people
like
come
Ding
from
Dong.
the Mount Kenya. Eh?
It's just ding dong. It's very easy for you to
Acha
pronounce.
hata nisiseme. Guys, now Bernard is on the other side of the microphone this time round, and we just wanna hear what he thinks of the World Cup Trophy tour today and just some other things. Hi, Ben.
How are you?
You good?
Yes, I am.
I'm very good as well. So now, we'd like to know, how does it feel? The trophy is in Kenya today. You as a sports person, or rather as a sports, reporter, how does it feel?
Well, I guess for me, I've been privileged to cover the FIFA World Cup. That was in 2014, and to have the actual trophy here the live trophy. Because the thing is, people don't appreciate is that this is actually the original trophy. It's the real one.
It is?
Because what usually happens is the winner of the World Cup trophy is given this particular trophy just to lift it, and then they're given a replica. So they're not given this specific one to stay with. So this is the actual trophy that is actually being showcased here. So for me, I feel it's a privilege for myself as well, because I'm like any other Kenyan as well who's getting a chance to see the trophy. So I'll be seeing it for the second time because I saw it on Friday night during a special dinner that was held by the sponsors. I think gives a nice build up to the FIFA World Cup. You can imagine it's a different World Cup. It's happening in November, unlike previous editions where it was happening in June. So for Kenyans to experience this, given the kind of the way things have been in the past 2 years with COVID and everything, it's a nice, it's somewhat some nice respite for Kenyans to just have a chance to be in the same vicinity as the world's biggest sporting trophy.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always thought it's a replica, actually.
No, it's the original one here.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Now, having covered, in Kenya and having covered, the sports outside the country, what's the difference?
Huge difference. I think your question is a bit vast. I think I can spend the entire day just telling you the differences, but I'll focus on football because we're talking about the FIFA World Cup.
Sure, yes.
I think for Kenya, we still have a lot to do in terms of making sports an industry, because that's how it is elsewhere. Because once sports becomes an industry, becomes a income generating opportunity for a lot of people, it becomes, because it's something people don't appreciate, is that sports has the ability to kickstart an economy. So for countries that host major sporting events, if they get their mathematics right, it is actually a boon for the economy. You can imagine South Africa hosting the World Cup in 2010. I did a lot in terms of their infrastructure, because one of the preconditions are for people to host, for any nation to host a major sporting event, the infrastructure has to be in place. So I think for me the difference is that infrastructure is very critical, and it's not just infrastructure in terms of stadium, it's also infrastructure for movement of people, because you go into sports facilities across the world, and once the event is done, within 10 minutes there's no one around. So for us, by the time we have a local match and the game is done, it takes like about an hour or so for the stadium and even the surrounding area to be cleared up. So I'd say we will get there, but a lot needs to be done.
Yeah. The turnout of the people coming to see the trophy today. Do you feel Kenyans have taken the chance to come and see this?
Yes, I think just give it time. It's still early. For most people, it's Friday. It's a working day as well for other people. So maybe some are opting to maybe take during the lunchtime break to come and get a feel of the atmosphere. So they will come. The Kenyans will turn out.
Yeah. Kenya has been banned, football from participating.
Right.
But I would like to know, what are your thoughts about this, and where does it put now, football position for us in this country?
I don't want to comment about it because it's still an issue that is being addressed. So we just hope everything is resolved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were in Portugal just the other day to cover the safari rally rather. I would like to know, how was the experience there? And having been in Kenya as well to cover the safari rally, what is the difference?
Um, Once again, it boils down to what I'd said in terms of infrastructure, in terms of enthusiasm for the sport. One thing I noticed in Portugal is that Kenyans are really passionate, Portuguese are really passionate about rally. Some of the stages that we were covering, they were about almost 100 plus kilometers away. And guys would drive all that distance to make sure that they found themselves in a nice vantage position to watch the rally cars. So I hope that will be the same case when Kenya hosts the Safari Rally. I'm sure it will be the case because the history of the sport, it made its resumption last year. And we'll see how 2022 will be. Yeah.
I'm interested to know, what is your favorite sport to cover?
What do you think?
Not so sure. I'm not so sure.
Anyway, for me, my first love is rugby,
Oh,
and then all the other sports follow. Yeah, all the other sports follow after each other.
yeah.
Right.
You play rugby?
I used to play in uni. I played briefly for club, but this is the money maker, so I can't continue.
Really?
Yes,
Is it something you miss to play?
maybe on a social level, but it is an intense sport. It's a high intensity sport, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Ben. Do you guys have any more questions to
Uh,
ask?
Benard, just a quick one. What do you think about sports fans, ladies and sports in Kenya? Do you think it's growing? Do you think the ladies are just in sports because they are accompanying people? We've seen sports journalists. Where you work, we've seen quite a few sports journalists. We've seen like the veteran of all sports journalists, Carol Radul. What do you think is the growth of lady fans in sports?
I think there's an appetite for sports amongst our sisters. Um, by and large, I think for me, what is critical is we need to see more female sports administrators. That's very important. Female sports fans are there. I think for me, the thing that we really need to see is more female sports administrators. We have a vice president for FKF who is a lady. We have I think a secretary general for another sport who is a lady. So basically, I think it's something that needs to be more and more and more. That for me is very critical. In terms of the fan base, that's growing. I think there's something I realized when it comes to sports to ensure that women are able to appreciate, and I think this is a message to organizers for sporting events. Ensure that women are able to be comfortable in sports facilities, because once you ensure that women are able to enjoy themselves in a sports facility, they feel comfortable, because comfort, security, safety is very critical for women. If that is the case, the numbers will come. For men, we also want the same privileges as well, but by and large, if a woman feels safe at a sporting facility and it's a clean place where she can, of course, use their facilities that are able to ensure that they're able to be comfortable, by and large, that's how you increase the numbers.
One day Kenya will host, will go to World Cup.
I think I'll just leave it at belief. There's still a lot that needs to be done. People forget that the build-up to the World Cup does not start on the year of the World Cup. It begins way before. And if you don't have systems in place to ensure that you have that talent, it will be a dream. It will be a dream. And the key ingredient is the junior level. Because most of these players you're seeing competing at the World Cup, these are people who competed in the junior World Cups. And you see they graduated into the senior level, and then onwards now, of course, to participate in the World Cup. So a lot needs to be done between now and when we want. Give ourselves a target. We say, okay, fine. This is 2022 FIFA World Cup. There's 2026. There's 2030 World Cup. There's 2034 World Cup. There's 2038 World Cup. There's 2042. Can we say, okay, fine, let's plan for 2042? If you have a solid plan, it's very possible. Because it can be done. It just needs proper planning.